it would have been curtains. It would have really meant that. So there's my pine trees, there's me aiming down the right-hand side, and the only thing I need to do is make sure that I can get through the shot, which will allow that ball to bend back. We are fresh off the back of one of the most intense Masters we have seen in a very long time. I want to talk about two shots that Rory played in that final round, the wedge on 13 and that beautiful towering 5-iron that Rory played into the 15th that really set up that eagle try. Unfortunately, he narrowly missed it. Now, Rich Beem talked about the height of Rory's right shoulder when he played that 5-iron in, and it really got me thinking. It really got me thinking into how so many golfers have been instructed into hitting from the inside to really try to hit that draw. Garbage. So Rich Beem talked about the height of the right shoulder, really trying to get that towering 5-iron to draw into the target. Now, let's just think about what that means. The height of the right shoulder means that the left shoulder is much lower. If the left shoulder is much lower, it means that the left hand is much lower. And this height of this left hand in a downswing and a through swing really starts to get that club closing over. Now, you will have seen that Rory was tucked up on 15 behind those tall pines that really meant that he had to aim down the right side out to the bunker. The only thing that Rory needed to make sure he did was bend the golf ball back to the target. Now, Rory's golf swing has got a bit of a funky right elbow, a bit of a funky right shoulder, gets a little bit stacked up. His golf swing really relies on speed. So this was like green light time. As long as he could get through it and really put the hammer down and play this shot with the intensity that it needed, and let's face it, it was give or go time here. So the shot that he was playing was really out to the right, and he was trying to make the left side of his golf swing really give way. The more he could make his left side of the golf swing give way, the more chance he would have of making that ball bend away to the left. There was never any fear of it going right because he had already set himself up down the right-hand side. He needed to make sure that this left side, this left shoulder, got out of the way. If there was any sense that the left shoulder jacked up, it would have been curtains. It would have really meant that that golf ball is going to fire out to the right-hand side and hit that fanned one. You can see that my path was from the inside at 11.4. The face was open to that path, and therefore I didn't get the ball bending back. That was me trying to get that path to the right. But as we know, Rory had the trees. He had the pine trees down the left-hand side. This was his obstacle. This was his obstacle that he needed to aim right of. The only thing he needed to make sure he did was to unload the golf club around. So there's my pine trees, there's me aiming down the right-hand side, and the only thing I need to do is make sure that I can get through the shot, which will allow that ball to bend back. How about that? Ever seen that on YouTube before? So now, all of a sudden, we've got that path line down to the right, and the fact that that ball was there, in fact, let's just bring that back. The fact that that ball was there, and I was swinging here, can you see the reason why I got here? The ball didn't hit it, of course, but my path of my golf club did because it was arcing back in. Let's get rid of that. You can see the path line was to the right at 12.6. So what can we learn from this? We can learn that by aiming down the right to draw the golf ball is an absolute necessity. But what we don't then need to do is drive down the right-hand side. So with the 5-iron shot, he set himself up to the right, and now all of a sudden he just needed speed to unravel that body around to the left and get that ball really bending down. And so you can see where Rich Beem was talking about high right shoulder, low left shoulder, all of a sudden it gets that path in to out because I've set it, but it gets that face close to that path that allows that ball to bend to the left. Now, let's chuck the 5-iron away and get the wedge out. He had 83 yards, I believe, on 12. Now all of a sudden, this is a very, very different feeling, sensation when you're playing to such a short shot. You can easily get caught up in playing straight. And when you play straight, you can get awfully lent on with the shaft, which then just all of a sudden gets that face flaring itself open. But when you think about the shot, if he was to play it in the same methodology as his 5-iron, which he absolutely should have done, he would have needed to aim at the brook down the right-hand side. And if he'd have done that, he'd have then felt like he could turn it back onto his target from such a short range and get that little ball drawing back into the flag. So these two shots, the 5-iron, the towering 5-iron that aimed down the right and bent it back into the flag, should have been played the same from the 82, 84 yarder that he was really faced with down on 13. So this pitch shot, getting the ball further forwards in your stance and now giving yourself the same sensation that you can get that left shoulder low and getting yourself clearing, really gives you the sense that you can get that ball started on line and still having a little bit of draw. The minute we play too straight, the minute we get too much into our target and drive that handle down the ball to target line, which, let's face it, he's done the tough bit. He's got himself in that great layup position, and now all of a sudden he's just got to push it on the green. And in the same way, if you remember playing up 18, that little wedge shot, that all he had to do was play a 3/4 50, a 3/4 54, and again, he just played too straight, and it allowed that face just to flare open and pop it out to the right. Rory's golf swing is one that needs speed. Rory's golf swing is one where the left side needs to give way a bit more. And that's why I believe that when Rory is on the back foot, chasing people down, he has more speed in his golf swing. When he has more speed in his golf swing, the left side doesn't get out of the way because this jamming up of that right shoulder really doesn't then compromise the track of the handle. Maybe Rory needs to give me a call. Who knows? So let's get that little one up the right-hand side, the 120 yarder that he had. Get himself aiming up the right. You saw it in the playoff, didn't you? How he got that nice draw shot in there. And he really unraveled his body in such a nice manner that got that left shoulder low, that right shoulder high, and got that beautiful little draw into the flag. So two shots, a 5-iron towering into the flag and that little 84 yarder. Two shots that you can really take a lot from. They're two very different styles or two different shots, but they're one of the same in terms of how you want to apply yourself. Keep that right shoulder high, get that left shoulder low, and you will really... If you're tired of paying too much for your premium leather golf gloves, head over to gxgolfgloves.com. These are gloves trusted by tour players and elite amateurs alike. Use my code GOODCOACHING to receive 10% off your next order. Go try them out. You won't be disappointed. We start to get that ball started a bit more in line with some draw. Hopefully you enjoyed the Masters as much as I did. I'm a little bit tired. 4 days of getting to bed at midnight. It's a bit of a young man's game, that one. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed that. And that, my friends, is good coaching.